everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing really well. I've got a new tripod and I think my camera might be slightly too heavy for it, so if it's wobbling at the moment, that should stop. You'll just need to stay very still. I feel like I need to do something really fun today. Like, the weather is so gloomy and I feel like I just need some fun makeup in my life. Wasn't really sure what vibe I wanted to go for, and then I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw this post from Donny Davy. She's one of my favourite makeup artists ever. She's always who I go to when I'm in a bit of a makeup rut and I need some inspiration. Loving this blue, this shape in particular, really speaking to me. So I think we're gonna do something like that. I'm also gonna do a fully matte skin. I know, call the police, alert the authorities. I've been kidnapped. Received the brand new Benefit Professional range yesterday. I think they've like reformulated, they've got some new products on the go. So I thought, if anything will make me do matte skin, it's that. I'm gonna zoom you in and get started on my skin. We have to do a very slow zoom with the tripod. Do not disturb the piece. So first off for skin, we have got the Professional Primer by Benefit. So this is obviously new packaging, but it did say new on the box. So I'm assuming they've reformulated it, but we will see. So this is obviously super blurring primer. Oh my God, why are these things so hard to get off with nails? Also, I found a new nail girl and I actually feel like I would marry her tomorrow. Like, they're insane. I can't open anything though. Me falling at literally not even the first hurdle. Do you know what, actually? I've done a lot of this recently. Earring. Stab in there. Bob's your uncle. Women in STEM, once again. Okay, let's try this. Oh, okay, definitely a different formula. If you've used the original one, it's like a nude colour, much thicker. That's definitely more like drippy. You can see it's actually dripping. Interesting. So it has been reformulated. It's interesting because Professional is such a cult product. I feel like they must know this is miles better to even bother doing that. So I'm going to mainly press it in the centre of my face, obviously anywhere that I want to kind of super smooth. Oh, it definitely feels lighter weight on the skin straight away than the original one. I feel like that was a very thick, kind of like plasticky feeling product, but I think that's why it was so poor filling. It was basically like poly filler. Must do a similar thing. So I feel like I mainly get texture kind of underneath my eyes and on my chin. So I'm going to focus it on there, and then I'm just going to use a little extra, apply it all over because I want to go full matte base and I want to give it a real test. Definitely feels a lot lighter on the skin than the original. I don't think I could have plastered the original all over my face. Doesn't feel too sticky either, so I'm intrigued how things are going to sit over the top of this. For the base, I've got two foundations that I think would work quite nicely. Got the Tom Ford Architect Soft Matte or Estee Lauder Double Wear. I am quite tanned at the moment, so I think this one's going to be a little bit too light, so we're going to go Double Wear. I haven't worn this foundation in such a long time. This is a shade 2W2 Rattan. I do want to go matte, but I still don't want to go like too heavy coverage. I still want it to feel comfortable and wearable. So I actually do love this foundation if you don't use too much. Sheer-ish layer of this foundation. I think it's so pretty. I do feel like at some point they must have reformulated this because I remember it being so much thicker back in the day, which I was not averse to. I remember how much I used to love the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. That was like my shit for years, and it was literally PVA glue. I wonder if they still do that. They must have like lightened that up in some way. I do feel like a lot of brands are like lightweighting their foundations. Like MAC have reformulated Studio Fix to make it like more comfortable. I just think we kind of still need like the heavy foundations. Like, I think they will come back around, so don't limit everyone from them, you know. But this definitely doesn't feel as heavy as it used to. I feel like my eyes are kind of sore. I've already done my makeup once today and it was an absolute shit show. So we're trying again. Hopefully this goes better. And I've just poked myself in the eye with a brush, which has not helped. That is just one layer. I think I'm actually going to leave it like that. Really like soft airbrush diffused matte finish. I absolutely love it. Then I'm just going to go in with a sponge and pat over just to make sure everything's sitting really flat. And you can still kind of see my skin through it. Like, you can just about see my freckles and stuff. Concealer, I'm going to do a mixture of two. I'm going to do the Tarte Creaseless and NARS Radiant Creamy. I'm going to start off with this one. This is the shade Medium Sand. This is my go-to for like a heavier, really matte under eye. I absolutely love this concealer. I feel like Tarte, maybe more so in the UK, is just like not spoken about very much. I don't see many people use their products. I bought this when I was in Thailand actually because I just needed a concealer quickly that was like the right shade. After about a week, everything was too light for me. I went and bought this and I'm so surprised how much I love it. I probably wouldn't have bought it usually, but I always feel like it's the things you buy on a whim that you actually end up really loving. This is quite a dry formula, which I think is why the coverage is so nice. Like, the less you blend it, the more coverage you get. I'm actually gonna leave that to just sit for a second and dry down even more so you get super full coverage. I have got a new brush that I got yesterday. Where is it? Here it is. So I got this brand new brush yesterday from this brand, Refir, I think it is, I don't know. It's a collaboration with Alexandra Anel, who I just love to pieces. And she very kindly asked me if I wanted to try one, and I was like, do I, girl? And it is gorgeous. I used it yesterday for my concealer, and it's just so nice. It's like soft, but not too soft. It's firm enough to like hold its shape, but it's soft enough to like diffuse it really nicely. And it says you can use it with powders and creams. So I think it's quite a multi-faceted brush. It's very nice. Not a brand I've heard of before, but based off this, I'm intrigued and I want all of them. I do feel like my base products have like really grabbed onto my skin today, and the only difference is that primer. So I feel like it's too soon to tell if the texture is reduced, because I feel like I only really see that once I've set and if powder starts sitting in there. So that will be the ultimate test. A little bit of the NARS concealer. I could probably not do it, but I want to go full glam today. So just to extra brighten up. This is more of like a yellow tone, so I always feel like it gives me that real brightness. Where I've already done my makeup once, you know, when it just makes you look hungover. Like, what is that about? You just will never have that like first thing in the morning fresh makeup look once you've done it once. How many times you take the makeup off, it's just, it remains. Now we're going to set everything in place. I have got the brand new one from Benefit as well. This is the Professional Power Powder. So I think this is like just a one shade universal powder. It says matte and blur loose setting powder. I did open it just to see the color, and I feel like it's that kind of peachy sort of shade that can either really work under your eyes or really not work. Sometimes things like this just go really dark under my eyes and it just ruins everything. I feel like I'm having one of those days where like I need to have a good makeup day or I might cry. So I'm going to set underneath my eyes with my usual setting powder, and then I'm going to use this on the rest of the face. I will test it under my eyes at some point, but honestly, not worth it today. Let me tell you, it's not worth it for you or me. So I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Translucent Ultra Blur. Just going to use it underneath my eyes, and then we will use the Benefit everywhere else. I feel like one failed makeup look is enough for the day, you know? Try the Benefit one and I will report back. Just so dubious about setting powders because they have honestly ruined my makeup so many times. I remember I bought the Huda one because everyone was raving about it. I could never ever get it to work for me, so I'm definitely a creature of habit with that. I know what works, I know what I like. And I'm just going to set lightly between my brows with that as well. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of this on that same powder puff just so I can see how it applies, because this is how I would usually do it. And I'm just going to start. Oh, okay, it's actually lighter looking on the skin. I actually think that would work quite nicely underneath my eyes, so I will definitely give that a go. Okay, I want to be super matte. I don't want like an inch of me catching the light today. Not that there is any sunlight to catch. You know what? I actually do feel like this area looks a lot softer than usual. Like sometimes I would have a little bit of grabbing going on by now, which I don't mind because pores, whatever, skin is skin. Doesn't really bother me, but if that is something that you really are looking for, I do think that could be working. I need to warm up my skin. I have got a brand new bronzer. This literally came like an hour ago and I'm just desperate to use it. It is more of like a liquidy formula though, so this could go wrong. So this is a brand new one from Beauty Bay. This is the liquid bronze. Same formula. Well, I'm hoping it's the same formula as the liquid blushes that I absolutely love. You know, I bang on about those all the time. As far as I feel, this would be the same texture. Add it on there. It looks the same kind of like dry cream to powder finish. So I'm going to try it. I know my whole face is set. I know the rules and regulations about not putting cream over powder. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to try it. I trust this formula. I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. We're just going to go with a little bit at first and just see how it goes. The Patrick Tar angled brush and buff it in. Yes, I knew. It's the exact same formula. I can tell immediately. Literally looks like a powder. Like the second you start blending it in, there's like no shine. It dries down exactly like a powder. I think this is such an interesting formula. I'm always surprised I don't see more people talk about these Beauty Bay products. The blushes are like some of my favourite blushes ever. I honestly prefer them over the Rare Beauty ones, which I know I do really love those, but these are just so good. Because they have that powder finish, they literally do not budge all day. Like, will not move. So I'm just warming up my skin with that. This is so nice. I'm so happy that I've got a bronzer version of this in my collection now. It's actually blending so nicely, even over the top of that powder. Lightly contour my nose. Probably put a little bit too much on there, but whatever. I like to take it right up underneath my brows. And then I'm just going to take whatever's left on that puff and just diffuse the two together. I'm going to add a little blush. This is one of the new matte blushes from NARS. This is the shade Deep Throat, which I know is an original. I don't know if this is the exact same or if it's been rejigged a bit, but I've been loving the finish of these. This is a really nice muted pink. I want something quite subtle and soft. and something that's not gonna disturb the blue too much. Nice and soft, and these are gorgeous. It's so weird, when I do a glowy skin, I'm like, so much blush, give me all the blush. But when it's matte, there's something about just like a really subtle, kind of like intentional blush that works so well. It feels more serious to me. Like matte makeup is like, ooh, serious, you know? Step for the base, we're gonna go with the Professional Super Setter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. I feel like we need to do the full collection. We need to give it the full test. Spray just to see how it, ooh, it was a nice spritz. Ooh, that sprays on really, oh, it doesn't taste very nice. Let me shut my mouth. That is the kind of setting spray that I like, where it doesn't make your face feel wet. Like, nothing feels wet, it's just like misted over. I did see the Lipstick Lesbians, who I'm obsessed with, like they're my new favourite people in the world, did a full like 20-something hour wear test of all this collection. And her makeup looked amazing at the end of it, so if it's good enough for her, it's definitely good enough for me. My brows are being an absolute menace at the moment, especially this one. I feel like I have no end of trouble with this brow. It will just not behave. It's matte, but it doesn't feel dry. I think that's what puts me and a lot of people off matte skin, is it's going to feel like dry and cakey and flaky and whatever. But that feels so soft. It feels very like youthful and light, and I'm loving that. I'm very impressed. Base is done. Going on to eyes, I have fished out a few blue products. We've got some liners and a couple of blue mascaras. She did have black mascara on in that picture, but I want to go the full shebang. I keep looking at these blue mascaras in my drawer and I'm like, I need to use them more, so today is the day. For liner, I've got a pencil one and a liquid one. This is the Crush liner from YSL in the shade 6. This is a really nice blue. These are pretty soft as well, so I think I'm going to go with that. And then I do have this NYX liquid liner in the shade Sapphire. It's very bright blue, but I'm not going to lie, that terrifies me. Like, something about liquid liner like actually terrifies me to the core, because it reminds me of getting ready when I was younger, and you know, it just goes wrong, it starts printing everywhere, the atmosphere changes, you're not going out anymore, everyone's in a bad mood. I'm going to start off with the pencil liner. I feel safe with a pencil. We understand each other, mutual understanding. I'm going to start going along the top lash line. I'm going to try and keep it quite thin. It never ends up happening that way, but I have got good intentions. The picture didn't actually have a wing at the end, but I'm going to do a little baby wing because you know me. I'm thinking I might map it out with this pencil and then go over it with the liquid liner, because I don't have the product that she used. She used a Half Magic cloud paint and they are amazing, but I don't have that exact shade, so I'm gonna have to make do a little bit. And then that's enough of a beginning base, so now I'm going to go with the liquid liner and just really intensify it. This looks really pigmented and very, very blue. Everybody cross everything. That is super blue. The trick is, do not get it on your eyelashes, because as soon as you do that and you blink, it goes absolutely everywhere. That blue is really pretty. I'm just going to tidy it up a little. I don't want to go too low here because I know it will start to crease underneath my eye. So I'm not sure about this formula. It's very like dry and feels a bit cakey. I just try and get that to dry down fully before it starts settling into every crease. It is very pigmented though, it's gorgeous, but it's very thick. I'm going to come back with the pencil and get like right in that corner after we've done the other eye. So these are new from NYX, or if these are the same formula as back in the day. It feels very similar to what I used to use. I used to love the black liner. Slow and steady is definitely the way with this liner. It's kind of done it there. I would have been very, very surprised if that had not happened at all, just because of the texture of this. It's one of those liners, it wants to get in every crease. It is just going absolutely everywhere, and I'm using like the tiniest amount of it. It's also all over my hands. So I'm just going to have to let that bit dry and try to do something with it. Honestly, not the end of the world. Once we get the mascara on anyway, it will all be fine, but just a note, if you do use it, it is a bit annoying. And this, boys and girls, is why I just wear bronzer on my eyes every day. We don't have any of this. Definitely more of a fan of like a pen eyeliner. I really like those, like the Make Beauty ones, the Vive ones. They're just so much like whoop whoop easier. They don't get stuck in your lashes. This is like a very claggy liner, which is why the pigment is so amazing, but it is quite hard to work with. Extend this wing and sharpen up a little bit. I'm literally playing with fire at this point. I don't know why I don't just leave it alone. Okay, I'm going to tight line a little bit with the About Face Sad Girl Line Artist. This is a slightly deeper cobalt blue. And just doing the top waterline, just so when we do the blue mascara, we don't have any like skin gaps. Also going to go right in that inner corner with that too. I'm going to use the Bad Girl Bang from Benefit. I feel like this is a very Benefit heavy day, but I keep seeing this in my makeup drawer. I keep saying I'm going to use it. Today is the day. I don't think this has a name, but it's just the blue version. It is super blue, really bright. I'm very excited to use this. Oh, that is gorgeous. Wow, that's really nice. Some blue mascaras, you put them on, you're like, where is the blue? Is it in the room? This is very, very blue, very pigmented. I want to start wearing blue mascara more, like just every day. It always reminds me of my nan. She used to wear blue mascara on her bottom lashes every single day. So it was so cute. I love when someone has like a little signature thing that they do every day. I do find a lot of makeup is very trust the process. Like the amount of times I nearly throw the towel in and then at the end I'm like, oh, was being dramatic. I definitely will not be reaching for that liner again though, sadly. Actually quite rare that I try a product that I'm like, I really do not like that. But that is definitely up there for me. I do love the shape though. I definitely will do this with black at some point. Okay, let's finish off with a nice strong nude lip. I feel like this just resolves everything. Peace is restored once you get the lip on. So this is actually a new one I got from Anastasia the other day. This is the Deep Taupe lip liner and I absolutely love it. I'm just going to line my lips with that. Just accentuating the Cupid's bow quite a bit. I feel like I've been quite into doing this recently. I feel like with like a graphic liner and a really strong lip. So nice. That is such a nice lip liner colour. I was going to do a gloss, but I feel like it just makes sense now to do like a full matte lip. Then I'm going to go in with one of the brand new Fenty Beauty lip liners. This is the shade Rubber Bands. And I'm going to shade in the rest of my lip with that. Liners do not come off. I went for dinner last night and I'm like a prolific lip liner reapplier, like on the hour, every hour. I'm like, Went to check my lip liner after I'd eaten, drunk. This was after like 2 hours, literally had not moved. Like they're insane. They're really, really creamy and then they just dry down and don't budge. And then just to lighten it up, I'm going to go with Vive Treasure. This with a blue eye. I mean, this with any eye, this with any makeup, but particularly with a blue eye, it just does something. Why am I loving the matte so much? I'm scared of myself right now. I don't know myself anymore. Every part of me is like, do a gloss, but do I want to do a gloss? This is the Rabanne Pink Lolita. I'm beyond obsessed with this. I feel like it will just tie in the pinks quite nicely. Yes, no, yes, yeah. Absolutely yes. I'm just doing a little bit. I don't want like a full gloss. I love that. Thank you to the lip for saving my day. It feels very dramatic, especially with the slick hair. I'm like, drama. Okay, final step, fragrance. This is the brand new one from The Way. It's the St. Bart's Hair and Body Mist. It's so gorgeous. I started off just wearing this when I didn't want like a serious perfume, just if I was like going to the gym or like going for a walk, but you know, you still want to smell cute. Started off using it as that and now I'm using it like as a serious perfume. This is like one of those really good ones to have in your bags. It's not as like intense as a perfume, but you can just like top it up throughout the day and it just gives you that nice, like, you smell good, but you don't smell like you're trying to smell good. Does that make sense? Kind of like floral, fruity, but then it almost has that kind of like underlying sun creamy kind of smell. Like it smells like you're on holiday. It's just gorgeous. Something a little bit different. I'm trying to be more adventurous with my makeup. I save all these things on Pinterest. I'm like, I'm going to do that and I never do it. So here's to trying new things. Skin though, like I'm obsessed. That's probably the best matte base I've ever done. It doesn't feel dry at all. When I do a matte base, I want it to look lit from within rather than like, if that makes sense. I don't want to look dry. I don't want to look like there's no light source anywhere near me. I still want to look a little, I still want shape. I still want to look slightly alive, like in a soft, diffused way. And I feel like this has done exactly, this is what I've been searching for so long. We need to finish off with the camera flash test because this for me is like the only way I can really tell how I feel about a base. Oh my God. Are we seeing this? No, that looks so good. And that is the finished look. As always, all the products that I've used will be linked in the description box down below. Thank you so much for being here and thank you for watching. As always, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day and I will see you all very soon. Love you.